Hey guys, today I want to say a few words about this whole fake news hysteria that's going on Facebook, that the whole censorship thing that's going down. Like, why is it, and what's the overall purpose of it? To understand that, we need to go back a few steps to the time where Facebook was young, when it was founded. What was happening there? First of all, digital cameras were kind of bad, internet connection was worse, and smartphones didn't exist. And there were relatively few people on theirs. And the content they generated really spread among their friends, and unless you were some superstar celebrity, it didn't go really far. It didn't spread like wildfire. So the amount of content which each individual user received was more or less manageable. But as information technologies improved along the way, Facebook decided really that they should really make some money off their user base. And the ways to make money are kind of straightforward. First of all, you have the ad revenue, and then you have sponsored content. Something that the companies advertise, or some opinion pieces which are actually advertisement but are designed to sell something. And as for ad revenues go, they're an important stream, but they're not the most critical stream these days. But as the technology improved, the amount of content that each individual user received was getting bigger and bigger, and as sponsored content and advertisement go, they're actually competing for the attention of the user, and they're competing against what their friends are posting. Ultimately, some years back, the amount of content became so great that there needed to be ways to optimize what people see and what's actually shown on their feed. And quite obviously, some things really are prioritized. So what is prioritized? Things that are prioritized are the content which has to bring money. But not only that, it has to be some sort of a successful content which generates engagement. Engagement is the key term here. It's some content which draws attention, which people watch, the links they click. And it's something that really has to be shown to the higher population, because there's a lot of content being generated, but it makes sense to promote only those ads and content which people are interested in, which they click on. So mechanisms were put in place to make sure such content spreads. First of all, it typically involves some kind of a test populace within the demographics to see where this content works, whether people are engaging with it. And if they are, then it spreads like wildfire across the whole population, and very, very many people will receive this content and look at it. The whole problem with fake news, or whatever it's being called right now, is that it tends to be rather engaging content. A lot of views, a lot of interactions, and really that's kind of the problem, and it spread like wildfire. On top of that, it was typically not the views that the owners of Facebook supported, and probably they weren't able to make much money off of it. So some mechanism needed to be installed in order to suppress such content. And the mechanism was the reporting and the rating thing, so the content could be flagged and downvoted manually, or the content can be downvoted using outsourced right now censorship. And that would kind of mean that the content that is not supported by Facebook, or that they don't endorse, doesn't get the recognition that it would if the playing field was level. Especially we saw that what prompted all of this was the elections of Donald Trump, where the alternative right or independent news sources, independent news generators like bloggers, YouTubers, created really engaging content that spread really well. And the system was such that it really did spread, and it reached the target populace. It was engaging and was effective. And in order to censor that in favor of things that generate revenue, or in favor of things which are supported, those mechanisms to downvote it were installed. And there's various things that are going on. So when this censorship mechanism is in place, you're not going to receive in your feed things that are what the Facebook doesn't want you to see, even if they're high quality, engaging, and very good. And that's kind of the situation that we're in right now. that some content is being censored right now sort of manually, but automated systems to censor it are getting better and better. Different companies are working on it. And it's probably a pretty effective way to limit free speech and actually kind of play with your advertisers also, to extort additional money out of them. That's another topic. And for the final part, what's really going to happen? Yes, the Facebook is a huge monster right now. Pretty much a monopoly when it comes to some sort of social media interactions. But when you start censoring the speech of people who are there, or really limiting the things that they can see, they will start looking for platforms that don't do it. Because the overall engagement with content is going to fall and the attention is going to move someplace else. That's what's really going to happen. And this kind of means that time spent in Facebook decreasing is actually fewer ads that were shown to the population. That would really result in a drop of revenue for Facebook. To combat this drop, what they're doing right now, they're going around the globe, often cooperating with questionable governments that would like to have censorship installed and would like to have automated censorship, and they're advertising these features saying, okay, we have these methods, your Ministry of Truth can look and approve posts, approve the topics and disapprove some of the topics, and in exchange we gain access to your market and we can sell our ads unrestricted. And this kind of goes in line with the thing that they're trying to market free or cheap internet for the third world countries, because they're a major source of revenue as well, and getting internet out there with Facebook pre-installed would really increase their revenue. That's kind of the strategy. What we have right now, this whole censorship is really not going to go anywhere. It's likely going to expand, especially on top of some of the countries that like censoring things that are going on in the social media. That model is going to stay. That model is going to increase. Obviously, in the countries where there's alternative social media, people are going to go there. But of course, if some tyrannical country approves the use of Facebook, there's not going to be any alternative to it. Then they're going to reap some pretty huge profit. And if we speak about tyrannical countries, or countries that like to, censor what their citizens have to see and have to say, and maybe punish those who say it. I mean, there's many examples of that. Even like capital punishment. There's a lot of population there, and some of them are really huge and important economically. I'm not going to point fingers, but I guess you know which ones I'm talking about. And the whole revenue stream from those countries can more than compensate the potential losses which happen, for example, in the US. That's how things are, and that's how they're likely to be in their coming future. Hopefully some independent platforms, new platforms will emerge, but that will be really complicated, because take a look at your smartphone, you probably have like 5 or 10 social networks, a dozen messengers installed. So getting a new application installed for the whole clutter that's on your cell phone is actually complicated, and making a person use it is not so hard. So the costs for expanding the customer base are really high right now. That is going to happen. Independent social media will emerge, but it's going to take some time. So I guess we have to live with that. We have to combat all the censorship in the ways we can, do social activism against it, expose it wherever it is, and really maybe target some advertisers who would want to advertise in countries where there's very little free speech. I guess that's the plan, guys. See you.